The No Shame Podcast is brought to you today by Father and Son Construction. No jobs too big, no jobs too small. We're father and son, we do it all. Now, you know, I was the Hall of Shame guy, and I busted a lot of bad contractors. So people come up to me all the time and they say, well, Rob, hey, I got to have my basement redone or I got to have a new roof put on. Who do I contact? Who's a good contractor? Honestly, I only know one company that I would recommend, and that's Father and Son Construction. I've known them for a long time. When I had my basement remodeled, I hired Father and Son. They did a great job. They did a drywall ceiling. They did everything. One of the things I like about Father and Son is that they're licensed. They're guys that follow all the rules. They pull their permits. I know the owner of the company, and he's a guy who's on all the building boards, and he's just a good, honest, decent guy, and the company is top notch. Licensed salespeople come out, licensed builders, licensed electricians. They're not playing around. They pull all the permits. When your city comes and inspects their work, they're going to give you the thumbs up. There's not going to be any of these things where they come in and say, oh, yeah, you got to redo this. This wasn't done to code. Father and Son Construction, honest people, good people, and a great company. The only company that I would say I recommend is Father and Son Construction. You can call them today at 248-585-5500. That is 248-585-5500. Father and Son Construction. They're good guys. They're honest guys. That's who I'd hire. That's who I did hire. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the No Shame Podcast with Rob Wolchek. I'm your host, the GOAT, Rob Wolchek. That stands for the greatest of all time, in case you're wondering, not like old GOAT. And let me introduce my co-host, the handsome, the debonair, the sophisticated Mr. Sean Parker.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Laura. How are you guys?
How was that intro? You like that?
I love that.
Hey, Sean Parker. And then, of course, our lovely, our beautiful, our sophisticated, our intellectually stimulating
I like this.
executive producer, the top-notch producer in the country. Please welcome Laura Moore. Laura!
That was excellent. Very good. I like that.
Yeah, well, you know, it only gets harder from here.
Okay.
On today's show, even your kid's birthday party can now make you the target of a ruthless scam. Blow out the candles and make a wish. I wish not to get ripped off. Taking a trip? Well, scam artists are ready to take your money before you even take off. Plus, the story of a unique new way to treat heart ailments involving your butt.
So many jokes.
I was trying to think of something more clever to say there, but it is involving your butt. And it says right here, I wrote this, we will dig into it.
Oh,
Not
God.
your butt, but the story.
Oh.
We will dig into the story. That's what we do. We don't dig into butts here.
Oh.
Have you ever thought about taking a potted plant outside a garden center? You know, they just leave them out in front of the place, and sometimes you go home at night and or you park there at the garden center. You think, wow, man, look at all those plants. I might want to take one. Well, if you think that, well, you may not be alone. And the World Cup is here, and the winner is ranch dressing. And finally, a heck of a story about hell. That's all coming up on today's show. So don't go anywhere. In scam news, a former colleague of ours and a big-time news lady we all know in Chicago recently got burned on this one. She started hearing from all sorts of people about a birthday party for her daughter. She wasn't planning a party. It turns out this is a big-time phishing scam. That's phishing with a PH, not an F. The Federal Trade Commission is warning people, especially this time of year when there are all kinds of grad parties, about Your invited scams that involve texts and emails. Scammers are trying to steal or force you to reset your passwords. If they get access, they can take over your email account, get access to your accounts, and in many cases, your bank account. The president of Paperless Post, a company that creates online evites, says they get a few hundred reports of scams per week. Here's what to look out for. Anything asking you to download an attachment is a red flag. Anytime you're asked to register to reply, don't do it. If an image won't load, the logos seem to be the wrong size or the text doesn't align. Also, take a close look at those URLs. Those are signals you are about to expose your personal data. So, Laura, you wrote this story. You know this.
Mhm.
Fill me in.
You know what? This is another one that I would fall for because I'm always worried about not responding to people's invites and evites and whatnot. But this friend of ours, she started getting all these texts and emails from family members and friends saying, accepting the invite for her daughter's birthday party. But the thing was, she wasn't throwing her daughter her birthday party. So she was trying to get her hands wrapped around this and she's calling her friends and she's emailing back and she's texting back. Meanwhile, what she was doing was she was exposing all of these people to more scammers because what had happened was somewhere along the way, she had either texted with or emailed with a scammer who then had gained access to all of her email contacts. And the more frightening thing about this is once the scammers get a hold of all of your contacts, they start digging and they start getting as much information to your personal information as possible. And in many cases, they're able to access your bank account and they can get to your money. And so, fortunately, our person caught onto this quickly and realized something's happened that someone's accessed all my personal contacts and all my business contacts. And she was able to put a stop to it. But again, this is one that scares me because I would do this if I saw an evite from a friend or a relative that was a recognizable email. I'd open it. I wouldn't be looking to see if the logo was lined up or if the URL seemed funny. I would just click on it and open it, and you instantly give them access.
Sean?
Yeah, that that's great advice there that everybody's given here. You don't open anything, don't download anything, don't don't give them any personal information, offer to call them back. All of those kind of things. You just can't be too careful because they're committed. These people are committed. They're running them like sales organizations and they're serious about getting your money. So be careful,
And
guys.
and let me tell you right now, I know who you're talking about, and this is
Mhm.
not someone who is gullible or dopey. This is a major TV anchor in Chicago, which is the number 3 market in the country. She's a very sophisticated and bright lady, and, uh, and she fell for it. So there you have it. This can really I mean, they're just very clever, and you just can't stop being careful for a minute. And I love all these scam things that we talk about because honestly, I'm learning about them too. I would never well, I'm one of those people that I don't ever go to anything, so I would just ignore the Evite anyways. But, um, for people that do, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm constantly telling my mom, "Don't open anything. Don't open that." If it looks suspicious, it is, and that. But every day, I mean, it's something that happens every day. Like they said here, there's hundreds every week. That's outrageous to me.
And I know that, Sean, you told your mother that when you were in high school, "Don't open that. Don't look in there. Don't go there." That's been something that has lasted your whole life.
Yeah, I was a darkroom photographer. Yeah,
Yeah, we discussed, some of the things that went on in the dark room. I had a dark room at my house too. Laura, you ever get invited into a dark room at a high school boyfriend's house?
No.
Okay, well, you're
We
lucky.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Next scam.
Yep. Moving on.
Next scam. Let's go to the next scam. You know that free Wi-Fi you get at the airport? I've been traveling a lot lately. It turns out scam artists are using a technique called middling to hack into it while you're using it. As you probably know, all airports around the world, I just traveled to London and they had it at Heathrow. They now offer free Wi-Fi networks. You just go into the airport, it says sign up, and it's real easy to get on. If you're like me, you get to the airport early, you sit around for 2 hours, you're messing around on your phone, you're on the airport Wi-Fi, you go to Instagram and Facebook, but you also check your bank account. I do that because you're thinking to yourself, I'm going on a trip or I'm coming back from a trip. And so you sit there and you open up the banking app and you say, yeah, maybe I better move $1,000 out of savings into checking. We spent too much, or we're going to spend too much, or whatever. So the thieves, some of whom it turns out are allegedly even airport workers, they know where to stand or sit in between you and the Wi-Fi antennas. Apparently, this is pretty easy to hack into these networks. It's called middling, and they can see what you're looking at. This is a particularly bad scam because by the time you realize somebody has hacked into your bank or your credit card account, you're on a jet and now your phone's in airplane mode, so you can't even look at your phone. And then when you land, surprise, all the money's taken out of your credit card or your bank account. And it's all because of airport Wi-Fi. So don't connect to the airport Wi-Fi or don't open your account or credit card apps while using airport Wi-Fi. Don't get middled.
Yeah, and that's great advice, Robin. It's any big place, the airport, the ballpark, heck, even the coffee shop, any public Wi-Fi. Be suspicious. Don't go into your private apps and things. Be suspicious anytime you're on public Wi-Fi, but especially the big ones.
Yeah, this is one I actually wouldn't fall for. I feel like I would know not to mess with my bank account in the airport. So my money's
See,
safe.
I would fall for it. You fall for the other ones. I would fall for that. If I got an invite, I'd be like, I don't want to go to some stupid kid's birthday party. I'm not even answering this. But if I
No.
got I'm in
Mm-mm.
you're in the airport. You're going on a trip. I mean, you want to see. Gosh, we spent a lot of money. I bought that cupcake for $12. It had a tip 20%.
I
I
would
wonder
not
how
be
much.
bringing up
Oh.
my bank account information on a screen at an airport with 7,000 people around me. No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
any public Wi-Fi. I mean,
No,
honestly, it's not a
absolutely
good
not.
I
one.
would, I would, and I still might do it. So there
Well,
you
I might
have it.
travel with you then because that sounds like a win-win
You don't even
situation.
have to travel with me. You just have to stand
I'll
near
take you to
me.
the airport anytime you'd like. How about that?
Okay. All right. Well, you'd have to come in and buy a ticket. So that's how the airport employees are doing it because they're working there behind the counter at the Cinnabon. Those Cinnabon workers seem a little shifty to me, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, if you made that much, you would be too.
I was going to skip the story, but Laura is insisting on we do this story. I thought it was a
You
little
wanted to dig
distasteful,
into this one,
but
so
she is the executive producer. So she says we're doing this story on your butt, not your butt, on butts in general, on a new medical technique
this story is
involving.
actually about the heart, but go ahead.
Yeah, palpitations.
Okay, nobody remembers anything about the heart in this story. Here we go.
Mhm.
Let's do it. A medical case out of Queens has doctors taking notice. While out walking, a 29-year-old man started experiencing heart palpitations. Hang on, here's my heart palpitations. Oh, 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 oh. His heart was pounding at 140 beats per minute, far higher than the average of 60 to 100. He raced to the hospital where the doctor determined he needed to check for internal bleeding before attending to the heart. He performed a rectal exam, which immediately regulated the patient's heart. I would be very suspicious if I was having heart palpitations and the doctor said I need to perform a rectal exam, but whatever. After taking a beat from examining the bum, the doc determined his probe stimulated the man's vagus nerve. Is that how you say that?
Yes.
It is vagus. It's not vagus nerve.
Nope, it's Vegas.
Okay, vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in the body connecting the brain to major organs like the lungs, gut, and heart. Vagus nerve stimulation is thought to spark the body's fight or flight mode and slow electrical conduction to the heart. Basically, the guy was having heart problems. The doctor performed a rectal exam on him, and somehow that cured him. Sean?
Wrecked him, damn near killed him, I guess you could say. I wonder if
Boom.
that's where that saying comes from, you know?
Laura, you got a joke on this one?
I don't. I just want to say my entire male counterparts on this team all thought this was the best story they had heard all week.
This story is pretty good. I read the
Mhm.
story myself, and I thought it was really interesting.
I'm
I
just
thought it
glad
was
the
inter
guy's
I would think, to me, just the premise of you go to the doctor because your heart is beating too fast, and the guy tells you to pull down your pants, he wants to do a rectal exam, I would think would be pretty suspicious. But come on. Did that really happen? Apparently, it really happened, and
Yeah, well,
apparently
and
that
Sean, you
cured the
said
guy.
your wife's a nurse.
my wife's a nurse, and she said it's actually rather, common in the medical profession that yeah,
That they start giving you a rectal exam.
well, just that, there's all kinds of nerve endings, down there and everything, and that's not that uncommon for that to be helpful when you would think, why would you be doing that,
From what I was thinking, you look like your heart is beating pretty hard right now. Do you think we can get your wife in there to do a quick exam? We wanna cure you.
I have an
Mm.
idea. We can move on to that other story that you wanted to
Oh,
tell.
you're the one that wanted the rectal exam story in
I
I mean,
just
my
there.
wanted to
wife
be
loves
done with this
Vegas,
story.
so
Alright, here we go.
Las Vegas, but yeah.
There's a strange new crime growing in Great Britain. Cases of green thumbs and sticky fingers. That sounds like something Laura would write. Did you write that, Laura?
I did.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The country's garden center the country's garden centers, I should say, are in the grip of a shoplifting epidemic led by, according to retailers, mostly well-to-do middle-class women in nice cars. That sounds like Laura right there.
Do you have a
What
nice
kind of
car?
car do you have?
A black one.
Yeah, I know what kind of car you have. It's a very nice car, I'm not gonna say. Retailers say the open nature of garden centers make them particularly vulnerable with stock accessible in outdoor areas and multiple entry points far from staffed entrances. You've seen this in front of the hardware store or even
Mhm.
Kroger, places like that. They got all these plants and then the place closes and there's all these plants laying around and it seems like it would be very easy to steal something. I know they got cameras on you and stuff, but anyways, it's simply hard to catch a shoplifter without profiling honest garden gurus. But this goes way beyond a few pilfered potted plants. That's the triple P there, the pilfered potted plants. Crooked customers, that's the double C right there. This is an alliteration lesson of writing by our
Wow.
executive producer. Yeah, no kidding. Crooked customers have carried away $16 million worth of goods across the country in this past year. Time after time, when they review surveillance tape, it's properly dressed, professional looking women loading up their nice cars. Sounds a lot like Laura. In response, managers are raising displays, gating off gardens, and moving products closer to staffed areas. Have you noticed all those plants and things sitting out there in front of the garden center, Sean?
Yes, absolutely. But let me say that Laura would never swipe stuff from the garden center.
I
I
would never
believe that.
swipe from the garden center.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is outrageous. I mean, what are they thinking? I mean, millions of dollars in plants, and I mean, this is in, the UK, you said, right? I mean,
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes,
wow.
indeed.
But I
I,
think
I'm
sometimes when people steal, it's like it is often people who can afford it, and I think that some of the psychology behind it is they feel like it's kind of a game to see if you can get away with it. And this is one of those things where it's an easy take if it's all just out there, like Rob was saying. It's kind of like if I can get away with doing this, maybe I should do it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely very tempting. Have you ever done this, Sean? Right? You go and you buy like bags of salt or bags of topsoil or something at the hardware store, and you go into the store and you say, "Yeah, I'll take 6 bags of topsoil," and they say, "Oh, yeah, that's $4.99 a bag," and you go, "$4.99 a bag? Oh my god, cheapers creepers, man, it used to be $2.99 a bag," and then you're loading them into your car, and now I would never do this, but the thought has crossed my mind, if I took 7 bags, would they even know? But I've never done it, but it would be easy. So I can see where being easy and potted plants are cheap, man. I got a big yard. Believe me, I spend a lot of money on
I
potted
know.
plants.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
I'm a firm believer in karma, so I don't think it's worth it to steal a small amount like that. I mean, it's got to come back and get you somewhere, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I'm not saying I would either. I'm just saying that it would be easy. The person that you really got to worry about, the lady, the middle upper middle class lady driving the nice black car, who a
We can't be
professional
trusted.
woman, that's who to
Blonde hair.
they're not worried about us. We're not being profiled at all, Sean.
That's
It's
true.
the person that wrote that story with all that alliteration in it. Let's go on to the World Cup, okay? The
Okay.
World Cup is underway, and football fans from around the globe are gathering in the United States and discovering American foods. Emerging as a maybe surprise favorite, ranch dressing. Videos going viral feature World Cup fans stocking up on the stuff. I guess they don't have ranch dressing in other countries. So much so, the TSA put out an advisory warning travelers any amount over 3.4 ounces needs to go in your checked luggage. So, can you imagine them opening up the carry on luggage and there's like a thing of Hidden Valley Ranch? I'm just a big fan of Hidden Valley Ranch.
I love
I
this
should have
story.
done that with a foreign accent. "Oh, I just walked to Hidden Valley Ranch there, mate. We ain't
Yeah,
got this."
they love it over here. In
Yeah,
fact, I hear
Oh,
they
they
yeah.
don't
shopping,
got this down under Hidden
I hear
Valley
like
Ranch.
Bucky's and Sam's Club and those kind of stores. They just love them. Costco, that kind of stuff. It's like this is the greatest store ever, you know. So yeah, I guess it's not surprising that ranch dressing. They eat like mayo in other parts of the world, like on French fries and that. So ranch dressing, I can see where that would be a quite a treat.
Now, not to miss an opportunity, Kraft Foods is working on travel-friendly kits featuring single-use packets in TSA-approved clear bags of ranch dressing. The company posted on Instagram, quote, "Some visitors leave with souvenirs, others leave with America's favorite dressing." And that's it. That's ranch dressing is a big hit, which is, I'm sure, a surprise to everyone.
Yep. It's a little surprising to me, I mean, I guess I just imagine ranch dressing is popular everywhere, but I have seen this report where ranch dressing is an actual phenom right now.
I'm pretty much a fan of ranch dressing.
Oh yeah, me
Now,
too.
all right, now that we've talked about the World Cup, it's time for a little segment that we're calling Sean's Shakedown, also known as Parker's Price Hike. We couldn't decide which name was better. So
I
we'll
like
let
them
the
both.
I do
we
like them both. Yeah.
yeah, well, you thought of them both, Laura. So we'll let the viewers decide which is better. Sean's Shakedown, also known as Parker's Price Hike. Sean, you're fed up. Fill us in.
Well, tickets are outrageous for the World Cup. The minimum price for any match is a minimum of $1,000. With the popular teams like Portugal, Spain, and the US of A, they're going to start around $3,000 and they go all the way to the moon, $1 million or more. The total number of matches played has increased from 64 to 104. They're played throughout Canada, the US, and Mexico. Talk about the beautiful game. You better be rich to enjoy all that beauty. What
You
do you
know,
think, Rob?
Wow.
I can't even believe $1,000 a ticket. I mean, and nobody just buys one ticket. I
Oh
mean, you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
take
to
your
start.
Right.
buddies or your friends or something. And even when I take my buddies to games, I kind of always end up being like, "Man, do I want to hit this guy up for X amount of dollars?" Or, "Hey, man, I got this game. You can get the next one." I mean, it's outrageous, unbelievable. I don't know how they can do it to fans because we're just sports fans, man. We just want to watch our favorite sport. And if soccer or football, as they call it, footy, is your favorite sport, I mean, this is a perhaps once in a lifetime chance to go to a match. So I guess they're willing to shell out $1,000 for probably a bad seat.
Yeah, but I mean, are
Yeah.
you gonna pay that to see, Kazakhstan and well, I don't know, some, another one of the small, countries, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's outrageous to see anyone of any note. I'm
Well,
talking the last game is $1,000,
I
And
understand
like
that Borat plays on the Kazakhstan team, doesn't he?
Yeah, I
In
believe he does.
in
That's
my
right.
country.
We
and
Laura,
love
you
like
were
you
gonna
guys say
say?
soccer very,
too,
very
you go to
much.
these games and then your team loses. That happened to you, Rob, when you took
Oh,
your kids to the
Yeah.
Pistons game, or one of these big games like the Knicks games. These people are paying all this money and then the team loses.
Yeah, at least those games were competitive, though. I mean, what's really bad is if you go to a game. I went to a Pistons game a few years ago and I took my kids, and we were playing against the Phoenix Suns. This was a few years ago when the Pistons were not so good, and I mean, it was like a slaughter from the
Yeah.
beginning of the game. I mean, Kevin Durant was on the Suns then, and he scored something like 45 points. I mean, it was like one of those things where at the end of the first quarter, it was like 35 for the Suns, 12 for the Pistons. I mean, and
Ugh.
the whole game was like that. It wasn't ever close. And I mean, I was extremely disappointed and I was bad. I was like, man, come on. You can't charge that much for this kind of product. Fortunately, the team's gotten a lot better. If you're already dealing with it, why not own it? Hell is for sale. Just more than 7 acres of Hell, Michigan is up for grabs along Patterson Lake Road. The plot has 10 mini income sources, including Scream's Ice Cream Shop, Damnation University, and Gateway to Hell Souvenir Shop. The guy who built the destination back in 1998 now says he's 80 years old and I'm ready to retire. He's asking for a reasonable $625,000, although some have suggested he should set the price at 666.
Nice. Nice.
What is the history of hell, Laura? You know.
Yeah, so the guy is I think I want to he's a vet, he's an army vet or he's a vet, a military vet. And he started this place back in 1989 and he thought it would be fun to make it a tourist destination and he just kept adding to it and adding to it. But he's really interesting because apparently he was really badly injured in the war and they thought he was dead for a while. And he came back to life and then he moved back to Michigan. He opened up Hell as a tourist destination.
Well, I mean,
So I think that's pretty.
was the town called Hell, Michigan before he bought it, or did he just buy a town and name it Hell?
I think that he established it as Hell. So after he survived a near-death experience in the war, he came back and established Hell and made it a tourist destination, and people come all over. And there's a golf course there. God, there's all sorts of crazy stuff there,
Yeah, it's
and
awesome. You can
it
be
makes a
like
lot of
mayor.
money.
You can be mayor for the day. You can walk through the gates of hell. They have a thing up in the front, like that. There's a
There's a
bar, though
wedding
I don't know if the
chapel.
bars. There's a wedding chapel. Yeah, it's really incredible. It's so clever.
No, I was just saying, I mean, if you're gonna get married and you think it's not the right idea, I guess getting married in Hell starts you off on the right path or
Yeah, I would
whatever,
think
but
a divorce lawyer would be a better option than a marriage thing. Who wants to get married in hell? I don't even want to visit hell. Sounds like a terrible place. I'm not going there. You guys want to go there?
Well,
I think
yeah,
it would be fun.
they have a mayor's office. You could be mayor for the day, Rob.
I
Mayor
don't want to
of
be
hell.
mayor of hell. I don't even understand how a guy can just name a town hell.
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was
There's a lot
I
there. I
thought it
think
was
it's
like an
funny.
old I thought it was like an old name, like, Richard Hellman founded it
No,
in 1850. It's just
No,
a
I
I
just
just
tourist
like
think
people,
they
trap.
specialize in like Halloween costumes and things like that. Their gift shop is real popular, and that's from what I understand.
but hey,
Okay, well, here's what I understand. That's the end of the show for today. I'm Rob Wolchek for the No Shame podcast with Rob Wolchek, for Laura Moore, our executive producer, and Sean Parker, my wacky sidekick. See you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. We are No Shame with Rob Wolchek. Check us out anytime wherever you view podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. No Shame with Rob Wolchek. You can like us, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. And I can't personally promise, but I personally promise Rob Wolchek will individually answer every message. You can also find Rob on X, Facebook, and Insta. Just search Rob Wolchek and keep listening. Thanks for tuning in.